I'm just hearing your voice. I'm hearing absolutely nothing. You could be in a
Oh.
basement right now with a bunch of dead bodies.
How'd you know?
That,
Like,
that's what it sounds like.
yeah.
There's like a woman on a meat rack about 5 feet behind you, and I wouldn't know.
Jeez, that's eerie. It's like you know what's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you sound actually the same. Like you sound really nice and no echo, nothing on this end either. So I think you'll
I'm
probably be pleased once you play it back.
well. I hope so. I'm in my kitchen right now, and the refrigerator isn't running, so we're lucky, I guess.
Ah, yeah, dude, my cat, my one of my cats was in here and just laying on the floor on the other side of the room, and I'm sitting here like waiting for you with my headphones on. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? It's the
Yeah.
cat snoring in the corner.
You
I
can
can
hear
hear him all
that,
the way
yeah.
across the room. Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
cat, yeah. My cat just left the room. Well, I got two cats, and both of them snore actually, and you can hear them sometimes. It's really kind of cute actually when you think about it.
It
Because it's like,
is. Yeah.
well, my one cat, Little, his name is Little. He's a really big gray tabby, but he's 4 years old, right? And he
Right.
talks. He like moans in his sleep. It's like you can hear him go. I don't know. Your cat probably does this too, right? Like if he sleeps on the bed with you or something, you hear him go. "Mm,
Oh yeah, sometimes they'll do that. Yeah.
mm."
They have vivid dreams, you know.
Kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Noah when he snored.
Oh God, not that bad.
Well,
Yeah, I have three cats and two dogs, and
oh, you
one
vey. That's
one
got
of
to be
my
a hell
cats
of a.
is blind, and one of my dogs is blind.
And are they constantly bumping into each other?
Yes.
Oh wow. It's like what
Yeah.
the hell? Oh wait, you're a dog, right? Yeah, you're a cat. What the?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. You would think that the cat would be able to smell the dog coming, but
You'd think that
apparently not.
their senses would be heightened in some
Yeah.
fashion. Well,
Like.
yeah, that's funny because there are apartment cats and house cats, right? Like Siren
Mhm.
was always an apartment cat, so when we moved to the big house upstate, she stayed in one room. She never went anywhere else. She never went upstairs or anything. She just stayed in one
Really.
room where she was comfortable. But Little, when I brought him up, he grew up in that house and he got to be really big, so he's always running up and down the stairs. But when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
moved to the apartment in Astoria, now Siren is like very comfortable.
Oh, good. Huh.
She doesn't like stairs, so she just likes to stay in one area.
Well, that's too bad. She's missing out on a whole world of, these poor cats. Like the how their apartment or house or whatever is their whole world and
Yeah.
stuff. Like if you got to make the most of it.
Yeah, they're usually like very well. Little's very happy when like Regan comes home from school and Brown comes home from work,
Yeah.
and he's because he likes girls. He likes the girls, and he's always trying to start fights with me and stuff. And both cats are fighting over me. Siren is very protective of me, and she tries to sleep with me at night, and then Little comes up, and then she goes and she's got to like, wail on him and everything, even though she's like a third his size.
Wow.
All right. This is BlissVille, Misadventures in BlissVille. I'm the pop culture erudite, David Lawler. These are my resplendent exploits. Tonight we got Andrew Legonc. I've always wanted to ask you about your last name, Legonc. Is it French?
Yes, it
No,
is.
it is French.
Yes, it is.
I've known
Good guess. Yeah.
Legonc.
Laurent. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost Klingon actually when you think about
yeah.
it. It sounds
Well,
like a Klingon.
it's part French, part Klingon.
But
I'm 1/8 Klingon.
Legonc.
Yeah, yeah.
Papa.
I'm going for my tribal affiliation. With
Many
the Klingon.
Andrews in the course of my journeys. There was a song on a show called Kids in the Hall, and it was called These Are the Daves I Know. And then the singer proceeds to list every Dave or David he's known in life. So I was thinking I could do a song called These Are the Andrews I Know. And you are one of them. But I remember you did not like, you hated, you deplored being called Andy.
Yeah,
That
Andy.
was your angry young man phase. Is that still the same?
I mean, I've mellowed, but no, Andy is still not the preferred. It's like I always say that if you really feel a compulsive need to shorten my name, go for Drew instead of Andy.
True.
But otherwise,
I remember
Andrew's fine
it
with
was a long
me.
time ago, and you like, I was like, I was like, can I call you Andy? And you like glared.
No,
Fucking
I'll kill
glared.
you.
You turned around like Linda Blair and gave me this look and said, "Don't ever call me."
Next thing you know,
Andy."
like Dave's covered in pea soup.
I sort of feel that way about Davy. I mean, like, my mother
Davy.
called me Davy, and people who really want to get under my skin call me Davy.
Fuck, dude, I would have been calling you Davy for a long time if I knew that. Jeez.
Anyway, so we hooked up. had to be about 20 years ago, around that time, 94, 95, I'm guessing. And we worked at a video store on the Upper West Side. It was a fun experience. We had a lot of celebrity clientele. It was interesting in that we supplied information to people who we would assume to have this information. I remember recommending Martin Scorsese movies to Carly Simon, or romantic comedies to Mary Stuart Masterson. Very strange.
I don't remember recommending anything. I remember meeting Mary Stuart Masterson when I worked at Tower, but not at Flicks.
Yeah, she was she's not as pleasant and wonderful a girl as you would think. She was kind of, I don't know, she seemed a little bit pissy.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. Not as bad as Rosie O'Donnell. Did you ever meet Rosie O'Donnell?
God,
what
no,
a
no,
bitch
no.
with a capital C. Oh my
Actually,
God.
I'd probably turn and walk the other way if I saw Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Well, that was back in the day before she went, before she was out of the closet.
About Rosie O'Donnell, because I need something to brighten my day
Yeah.
here.
She would come in and slam stuff around and she would just take over the place. She's like one of those people. You ever meet those people when they're upset about something, the entire room gets cold? She's like one of those people.
My mother.
And I also
my daughter.
yeah.
Probably your kid too, I'm guessing. When kids are upset,
sometimes.
Everybody's got to know about it.
Yeah, it's true.
That was at Tower?
Yeah, that was at Tower. And I also met her when I worked at 30 Rock. I worked in at a financial firm at 30 Rock at one point, probably after we worked at the video stores.
So
and,
did you say, "Hey, Rosie, remember me"?
No, please. I stayed
and
well the hell away
from
her.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Who are you? Well, I'll eat your babies.
She kind of looks like that. She would actually.
Yeah, she kind of
totally.
Does.
You know what? We need to start that rumor right now. Rosie O'Donnell eats babies.
Yes, we do.
And
yeah,
be like,
it all started.
Who said that about me? I know. It was that fuck from 30 Rock. I don't know why I have to make Rosie O'Donnell sound like some mobbed up goon or something.
Well, I know. It sounds better than actually doing an imitation of her. Yeah.
When I was the first time I met Mary Stuart Masterson was on the phone actually, but it was Mary Masterson, not Stuart. The Stuart was there for SAG, I guess, so she could have an identity. And I was like,
dude, I remember that.
I was like, your name is Mary Masterson? Is that Mary Stuart? And it's like, yes. She's like, you got any good romantic comedies? I'm in a bad mood, or something like that. I was like, you want to get in a worse mood?
Yeah.
Let me just turn on Bed of Roses, baby.
Let me. You want to get in a really bad mood? Let me put you on the phone with Lulu, and you can talk to her about it. Remember her?
Now she's immortalized. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Yeah, I know.
She's immortalized on this.
I haven't thought about her.
We'll get into Lulu. Lulu is actually a character unto herself. She should probably have her own sitcom, but we'll talk about her in a minute. But so what happened was, I'm working with you at this, and you're talking about Laserdiscs, right? And I was like, oh, Laserdiscs, right? You were heavily into Laserdisc, and you got me into collecting as well. This was way before DVD. This was before all the special features you find being packaged in videos today. We were renting out videotapes. We didn't even have a DVD section over there, and the store had the impressive adult section. So I remember I was there one day, and a salesman brought in a box of titles, and therefore a more mature crowd, so to speak, and our employers sifted through the titles and bought what they wanted for the store. The guy, as a salesman, was wearing a trench coat, and he was bald, and he looked rather mobbed up. And he was like this, he was talking like this. His name could have been Vinny. He could have,
hey, you want to buy these here porno tapes? Yeah, they're very mature. They're old people.
Yeah.
It's the geriatric porno box. I got a whole box of it. How many do you want?
It was a really big box too. It was about the size of a dining room table. This box.
We had a lot of them to get rid of.
And they were asking my opinion of what titles to buy. No, I forgot my suggestions. I mean, it was stuff like cum covered bitches and in heat or something like that. I forget what it was.
That was a classic.
That's what they call bukkake now, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they call it? It has a name. Oh, great.
So I forgot my suggestions, but I probably picked the nicest looking boxes because I figure cover designs would really grab people. So they'd be like, hey, well, there's a charming young man ejaculating on a very nice looking woman. I think we should get that, Marge. Those Upper
Seems
West
like
Side,
such a nice girl.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, I think because because of the Laserdisc movement, I totally lost my train of thought here. This whole shift in retail, where you could not only get the movie in pristine condition for the time, you got added features. You got Dolby Surround, commentary tracks, trailers, and documentaries. So when DVD came along, it kind of hopped on the popularity of Laserdisc and made it better because they were smaller, and they held more information, and they could be enhanced for big screen or widescreen TV. But there was a period, I'd say, of like maybe 2 or 3 years where Laserdisc ruled.
Yeah, and another thing, one thing about the Laserdisc is, as far as technology, it compared to today, it's completely inferior. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of content on those discs and the extras that is pretty much unavailable anywhere else. Criterion has put a lot of their stuff out on DVDs, but I may be wrong about this, but some of them, they still haven't put out the same extra content on the DVDs that they put on the Laserdiscs. Right. And I remember there were some really great things. There was some documentaries on the ends of things that I've only seen there. There was one the Criterion Silence of the Lambs, or there's 8 documentaries about serial killers on as an extra
on the Laserdisc, right?
Yeah.
Now, for some reason today, I don't know. It's weird that you mentioned Silence because I was talking to my daughter or something. I was like,
and she's like, Daddy, I like Silence of the Lambs. Daddy, it puts the lotion on its skin, Daddy.
No, for some reason, I started. I sometimes when I make fun of her, I will put my fingers on the nipples of my shirt, pretend I'm a girl, and go and then TMI. And then I'll say, it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. And she looks at me like, am I supposed to know what that means? And I'm like, just put the fucking lotion in the basket. But
it's like, Dad, that is the worst Ted Levine impression I've ever heard.
Was she a really great, big, fat, enormous person? She was a big girl, sir.
No, he's much more nasally than that, Dad.
Oh man, I didn't know that about Silence. What I had read an article recently about a James Bond movie. I think it might have been Thunderball. There was a commentary on the Laserdisc that is no longer available. It was cut out, and it wasn't because of rights issues. It was because it was for now it's a very politically incorrect commentary, and they just got rid of it completely for the new Criterion release of that movie.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I hate when they cut out politically incorrect stuff. I like that best.
No. I still have my player. Do you still have yours?
No, mine broke, and then I just never got a new one. Now, you can get one on eBay, but and I still have all the discs. But what the hell? I mean, they're not even really
You had one of those awesome ones that you didn't need to flip it over, right?
Yeah, it was
It did both sides.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Because most Laserdiscs you have to flip them over. I always had to flip mine over. But
yeah, which is pretty crappy. I know.
I still have it here. It's in my media center right now. It's unplugged. It's right adjacent to my Blu-ray player. But,
do you want to know something, man? I don't even have a physical media at all in my media center. None.
Nothing?
I have never owned a Blu-ray player.
Oh, you should really get one though.
Why?
Well, they have I don't. Okay, I only have about 5 or 6 Blu-rays. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a majority of it are DVDs. I don't really play DVDs either. What I use it for is I get a lot of stuff online, and I put it into I have a little Western Digital passport drive. And I plug the USB right into the Blu-ray, and it plays it.
There you go. That'll work. I mean, I have a PC, a home theater PC, on every TV in the house, and I have a central network attached storage, and server that provides content to the whole house: movies, music, television.
So you're like
And
Bill Gates here.
yeah, well, I build shit in my spare time. It's what I do.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you
Huh?
have in any room you want to go into that has a TV, you can just you could play anything that you want to play.
Yeah, and you could stop it in one room and pick it up in another. You can even set it up to. I've never used the feature, but the feature is there to be able for it to follow you around by your phone. Like you have your phone with your Bluetooth on, so it knows where you are, and like it'll follow you into the room.
So could it be like voice activated?
It could be, but I would have to probably do a little work on it to get it to do that. But it'll work. I know it'll work by Bluetooth.
Probably not that much work. It would be just like in the Enterprise or something. You could be like,
well,
computer.
I could definitely. I mean, I could do a voice. I could.
1992.
It would take me maybe a couple hours to get it to work with voice activation. Because I can tie it into my home automation system and I can voice activate that. So
you remember the old days, right? I mean, you worked in the old days. People go to a video store and rent videos, take them home, play
rewind them.
And they better rewind them.
Well, you better, or kick your ass.
Take them back to the store, and then the process repeats. It's a cycle.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. It's like an endless
loop. This doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't. Now we just download everything from the Pirate Bay and go to town. Fuck it, man.
Well, not anymore. Didn't they totally busted Pirate Bay. It was all Law and Order. They actually came in there with guns. Put that computer down.
Yeah. Well, they got a countdown on the website until sometime next month.
Candy Crush Saga. I don't care. Put it down.
I don't care. Stop it. Put it down. You're an evil terrorist.
So I have Laserdiscs in a storage bin in the basement in these big Rubbermaid trunks, and I have some of yours as well that you had lent me. I still have your Abyss Special Edition.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome when I first saw that.
When you told me about that movie, I did not believe you. I did not believe that there was a whole other...
I didn't believe that movie could actually be any good at all. That's where I was.
I remember the original theatrical version thinking it was very E.T., very Steven Spielberg and all that stuff, kind of lacking the Spielbergian magic, but very, kind of Cameron badass combined with that kind of magical special stuff that was going on. And then the whole tidal wave sequence, you were telling me about this, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah. When I finally got my Laserdisc player, I was like, give me that Abyss. I want to see it. I watched it, and I was like, whoa!
Yeah, my parents got me that. I think it was for my birthday or something. I didn't ask for it. And they're like, we heard that this was great. And I'm like, this? Like, yeah, really? Like, I don't know. I've seen the regular version of this, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but we heard the same thing. Like, we heard a lot of stuff. You should watch it. And I'm like, I'll be damned. They were right. I don't know what I think of it now, but like back then, it was pretty awesome.
Well, for what it was revolutionary. It introduced morphing effects for movies.
Yeah, a lot of a precursor to the effects of Terminator 2 that Cameron used in Terminator 2 are there.
And everything else they built up on that when they, in Jurassic Park kind of took it in another direction.
Yeah, and Michael Biehn is in it, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So later on, this Abyss Special Edition was released for DVD. And I got it for a friend, and it had everything. It had everything on 2 discs, I think. It had the original movie, the special edition movie, and then all those documentaries and stuff. But the Laserdisc package was enormous. It was like 4 or 5 of those enormous discs.
Yeah.
And this is like compact disc technology, right? This Laserdisc is to television, is to VHS the way compact discs are to vinyl, right?
Yeah, well, they said the Laserdisc is the size of a vinyl LP. It's huge.
Yeah,
and I think that was one of the reasons why it just was never going to fly. It's like these things are freaking enormous. You can't even stock them on shelves.
Plus, I don't know about your machine, but my machine made the devil's own noise when you started it up. I mean, it was like
actually, yeah, mine made a noise too. I don't know why it needed to do that, but it kind of, it made it was like. It was a noise.
So So
Remember
the
in
DVD
RoboCop, they had DVDs in 1987 in RoboCop.
Right.
Like, they knew about it, but here we were with these gigantic LP size things.
I'm not sure. They might have been invented like maybe in the 70s, and they were just sort of working on the technology, trying to perfect it as much as they could.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I know compact discs were around forever. They were. I think the for compact discs were invented maybe in the 60s. I'm not sure.
Huh. Tell you the truth, I've never looked at it. I definitely at that point in time wasn't as plugged into technology as I am now, and I just never really, never really even thought about when
Right,
they
you're
invented it.
you're a computer madman now, but
Now I am.
back in those days you had like this little. Well, no, you had an enormous home computer, and it probably ran Windows 3 on it or something, right?
Oh, let's see. What did I have back then? I had
Or
God,
was it even that?
no, I didn't even. I had like a 286 or a 386 back then. I didn't even have Windows.
Oh wow.
I was back on DOS. Like no internet, nothing. Like that was those were the early days there. I might have. I think I got my first real computer after we were done at Flicks.
I think what you were doing at that time, you were writing scripts too. I think you were writing on that computer. You sent me like
Yeah.
a couple of scripts. One of them I really liked.
Yeah.
But it was like mainly like 60 minutes of like non-stop hardcore sex orgy or something.
Oh, Carnage. Yeah.
That's Carnage. Yes, it was Carnage, and you set it up, and then there's sex, and then credits.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like there's sex, there's like blood and like there's
And you were
blood,
like-
there's sex, there's blood and sex, and then like movie's over.
You know what you were saying? You were saying you got to get Roger Corman to produce this, and that's the Roger Corman method. It's like sex, violence, like that.
It definitely was written with that in mind, that it would be that type of movie, and it could have worked. I mean, it just never.
Yeah, given the current state of movies and TV these days, I'd say yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I should probably go back and dig that out. It's better than most of the crap that they're putting in theaters today. I mean, I don't know. Still don't like it, but like it's got to be better than some of the shit that.
And it's considered original. It's not based on a comic book or a toy.
Yeah, it'll be the only movie next year not based on a freaking comic book that they already made 4 times in the past decade.
So we got Buck Rogers, Star Wars, Paddington Bear, and Carnage.
Carnage, yeah. Like, what's that? Like, let me go see that because I haven't.
Just tell them it's based on a comic book, and they'll be like, "Here, $300,000, go."
All you got to do is draw it out, like It's based on a graphic novel of stick figures.
You know what? It probably could. They're not as thick because what the Laserdisc actually was 2 separate Laserdiscs that were glued together, and that glue would sometimes eat into the the shiny stuff.
Huh? The shiny stuff. That's the technical term for it.
The shiny stuff. What was it called? Glittery glue, something like that.
Glitter
it was
glue.
made from angels' vaginas.
And and the unicorn crapping Skittles would like have to make more.
So I remember. First I wanted to ask you what you had in your collection. What were you most proud of?
Most proud of? Shit.
Other than the Abyss.
Maniac Cop. Maniac Cop in letterbox, which probably wasn't even really letterbox. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. But it was probably like a matte,
Actually, yes. And I was going to mention Maniac Cop, but you stole my thunder.
I think it was 4-3 when they shot it, and they just
they actually make a comment in the during the commentary that it was matted.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
The commentary was awesome. Like
it was one of the funniest commentaries ever.
That whole thing is cool. I mean, is that available even? I wonder. Because I haven't heard that since back then.
I can't imagine that it wouldn't. I mean, it's Larry Cohen wrote it and Bruce Campbell starred in it.
Well, I know the movie's available, but what about the commentary that they did? I bet you
the commentary track.
I bet you it's not. I bet you can't get it.
I still keep a regular tube television in the bedroom,
really?
Screen tube TV, and I was thinking of hooking up the Laserdisc to that because it's not going to look that good on my HD TV that I have in my living room.
No.
But I was thinking of looking at and seeing if if it's still in good shape. I try to keep it in good shape. I have a bizarre movie on Laserdisc. It was probably one of the last I ever bought. Well, I have 1,000 bizarre movies, but this one's called Spider Baby, and it was directed by Jack Hill, who would go on to direct a bunch of black exploitation movies in the 70s, but Sid Haig is in it. And an actor friend of mine named Robert Graham, a very talented actor I worked with a few times, bought me that one. Actually, I met Robert Graham when he sent in a headshot with that movie that we were going to make with Paul.
Huh.
And I got to meet him, and I worked with him several times on. He was in Ligeia. He plays the detective, the old detective.
The old guy. Yeah.
Anyway, he went and bought me this Spider Baby, and I also have Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, directed by Fred Olen Ray.
By Fred Olen. Fred Olen Ray. Awesome.
Starring Michelle Bauer.
That movie should have been so much better with a title like that. It just didn't live up to it.
Well, he sold it on. I think he sold it on the basis of ridiculous titles half the time.
Yeah, probably. Like, there's a guy that I've always kind of admired. I mean, the guy that really has the place in my heart though is Larry Cohen. He was always my favorite, always the guy that I admired the most, who made exploitation type movies and just did a really great job of making pulpy, awesome movies. But Fred Olen Ray was great too.
Larry Cohen directed It's Alive.
It's Alive.
2, It's Alive 3.
The Stuff.
Q.
Yeah, Q. Yeah, there's a number. God told me to. Yeah,
with Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, and he's done some scripts for a bunch of he would do what was it, Cellular with Kim Basinger. Yeah, was Colin? Oh yeah, Colin Farrell was one of the thugs in that one.
And Kiefer Sutherland.
There was Kiefer Sutherland in it, wasn't he?
No. I'm sorry.
It was Kim Basinger and what's his name? The bald British guy who's in too many crappy movies. I can't think of his name.
The bald British guy who's in too many crappy movies. That would be all.
Come on, the Transporter. That guy. Why can't I think of his name?
Jason Statham?
There you go. That's the guy. Yeah.
Let me look up. Oh, no. I'm thinking of Phone Booth. He wrote Phone Booth, too.
He did write Phone Booth. Yeah, he wrote Phone Booth. He wrote that movie that had Rebecca De Mornay and Don Johnson in it, called Guilty as Hell, I think it was, or something like that. Guilty as Sin. Guilty as Sin. We're doing all this from memory. See, back in the day, you and I used to be IMDb before there was an IMDb. Now they don't need us. You just look this stuff up.
So I have to be fair. I looked him up just to get the name of that movie I was talking about, Phone Booth, because you said cellular. He had a fascination with cell phone technology there.
He seems to he's great at coming up with high concept ideas. Some of them are kind of silly, but then he can sometimes pull a good movie out of it. Phone Booth was, I mean, I don't know. It definitely had its problems, but it was pretty interesting, I thought.
It was action packed, and it was done in real time, basically. There was a movie with Johnny Depp that was also done in real time, directed by John Badham.
Nick of Time. Yeah.
Nick of Time. There you go.
Directed by John Badham. That was the problem there.
Hey. Come on, John Badham did War Games. He did.
That was back when he was young and hungry. Yeah, Short
Saturday
Circuit.
Night Fever.
All right. Now you're starting to get.
I don't have to bring up John Landis now, do I?
Yeah. It's what do you got out of the Bird on a Wire, Nick of Time type stuff? That's what John
Badham started. Bird on a Wire, okay? It was an A-list script.
It was a law. You don't understand. They passed a law.
I'm sorry. Mel Gibson had a gun to his head and said, direct this, John, right?
Yeah, you're going to direct Bird on a Wire.
You're going to direct this, Sugar Tits.
Yeah.
So I have a slight Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi connection. It's how I met my wife. We were both working at Blockbuster. I got a job at Blockbuster. This was a couple of years after Flicks.
Yeah.
She came to New York. She was from Lansing, Michigan. She studied at Michigan State, and one of her teachers was a man by the name of Bill Vincent, who was also one of Sam Raimi's teachers. And he appeared in several of his movies: Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Darkman. He was what they called a Shemp, or a fake Shemp, which is basically like a second unit extra type. So when Bronwyn told me this, I knew I was in love. But she also had Laserdiscs. She brought Laserdiscs from Michigan. She had stuff like Excalibur. She had the Road Warrior Reservoir Dogs. One thing that confuses me is why did she lug Laserdiscs halfway across the country without a player? Did she know she was going to hook up with a guy who had a player?
She was looking for one, and she found you.
Did she use me for my Laserdisc?
Yes, dude. She was looking for a guy with a Laserdisc player, and you just happened to be there. And now you were the lucky recipient of a companion for life because of your Laserdisc player.
I'm gonna nudge her awake tonight and ask her about that. She'll probably respond by like punching me right in the nuts. She's a very violent sleeper. She's what I call I don't know if you've had this phenomenon in your life, Andrew, but she's what I call a bed bully, which is
a bed bully.
It's strange because she's a very small woman, but she rules the bed. Read into that what you will, but women are terrible. They're bullies. They're easy on the eyes, but they're bullies.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you and your significant other mark up the bed space?
I'm a big guy, but I take up as little room as possible, and she kind of steals the cover.
So are you? Yeah. Okay. So are you like frozen into a position? And she is like all over the place, sprayed out like a crime scene body. Because that's
no,
my wife.
She's not that bad. No, it's
well,
not.
I think I touched the nerve. It's okay. You can tell me later.
No.
I'll write it in the show notes. I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. Cut.
I like that. That sounds like an old Jewish director.
Cut. Why did I tell you cut?
All right, so Laserdiscs were just about the only opportunity you had back then to enjoy widescreen movies. So we looked at a lot of John Carpenter movies, remember?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Now, I remember learning about composition in detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I learned all about filmmaking watching movies on Laserdiscs. It's a film school in a box. It really was.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah. Very, very much so. Particularly a lot of those early, like the Halloween was like a film school in a box. The Criterion Halloween. There's, you could just like sit there and just study the composition of how he put it together. And it was
Fog too. You loaned me The Fog, and I watched that too. And John Carpenter has a great commentary because he's so honest. He does not give a flying fuck about what anybody thinks.
God bless.
What's more, he rips away the mystique of being a film director. He's like, you spend years looking at a movie and you're like, oh my God, that's a gorgeous shot. How did he do that, right? And then you listen to the commentary. He's like, yeah, we put a camera there and then I put a flashlight on it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that was my basement, Like, I'll never forget. You remember the Usual Suspects at the very beginning? And like I think it must have been the Laserdisc back then. And they're doing that beginning scene on the boat where they're like where he's like lighting the gasoline, and Singer is like Brian Singer is like he's like yeah, so we shot this in my backyard. And I'm like really?
I have that on Laserdisc, and I also remember at the end of the movie they deliberately like mixed up the audio bits to make it sound confusing. As we're learning about who Kaiser Sose really is, and they're arguing about it, both him and his writer, and they recorded like 3 different audio tracks and mixed them all together just to confuse people.
Yeah, like some of the commentary in that was really great. Yeah,
it sort of lets you know how they managed to do it. The movie looks great. It's got a great cast, and they made it for very little money.
Yeah, that was another one that was really educational, especially with the commentary, most definitely.
So I know DVD pretty much killed Laserdisc. So what did you think of DVD when it was first on the market? Did you buy into it right away?
Yeah, pretty much. I went right for it because Laserdisc, they'd already they sort of made the decision for us. Like they just stopped making them. They were just kind of like, yeah, that's done. We're doing these little ones now, and you better start to like it. So it just kind of went that way.
I think I read something that said they stopped officially producing Laserdiscs in 2002, something like that. But it was popular in Japan as a karaoke system. So
I remember that.
Laser karaoke, you'd pop it in. Apparently, it was like really, really big.
Well, they're big on karaoke over there. They just love karaoke.
They invented it. Yeah.
They did. That's why it's called karaoke. Yeah, yeah, it's true. That's true.
Well, I think our first player that we got was a wedding present from my best man. It was a Toshiba, and it lasted about 10 years. It was great, but it did die eventually.
That was a karaoke player?
No, no. DVD player.
DVD player.
The digital versatile disc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but by then you could get a DVD player for $50. Now they're incredibly cheap, and Blu-ray's getting cheap too.
Are they? I would never spend any money on any of it.
I have an older Blu-ray player from a couple of years ago. It's in my bedroom, and I bought a new one for Christmas. I got a Best Buy gift card from relatives, and the first one we got. That was also a Christmas present, but let's just say there was about $250, right? And then now you're getting them, you can find them for like $50, $60.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And mostly I think people buy them for Netflix and stuff like that, but I go for the Roku instead.
That's like, there's all these controls on the thing. It's got a Wi-Fi thing on it on the back, and you can get... you can use it as a search engine. You can use it for internet service if you want to. You can hook in a keyboard.
Like web TV.
Like web TV, yeah. And Netflix, and a Netflix button. And you can do all these.
Can I get to the message boards with this thing? like I'm looking for the message boards.
That's the future, though, isn't it? This is the future. We were talking about this the other day, or maybe last week. We were talking about that. All of this physical media is gone, and it's all going to be basically like an entertainment/computer system.
Oh yeah. Well, right. That's I've already got going here, and I think that's where everybody's going to be. Except the more facile we are with tech, the more freedom we'll have in how we consume our content. Because the way the content distributors are going to do stuff is they're going to never sell you anything. They're going to rent it to you. You're never going to own a DVD again. You're going to pay them, and if they decide that they just want to like renege on that, like they're going to do that.
They're going to have the power to.
Yes, they are, and they will.
So you're looking at a future where no one's going to own anything anymore. Now it's all going to be leased or rented, and it's going to have a disposable feel to it, and it's going to have a limited
and they
shelf
make you sit through trailers and ads and all kinds of crap. You ever seen that? There's this great graphic that they put up on. You'll find it on all the crap that you have to go through to watch The Matrix legally. Versus just downloading the damn thing and watching it illegally. And like the pirates can do whatever the heck they want because they own it, they download it. The only way to own it is to steal it.
Yeah.
And that's that's my philosophy on the entire thing is they've lost me as a customer until they start treating me like a customer.
Well, yeah, this is I like I said, I don't have that many Blu-ray discs. Mostly just like I buy box sets if I can. Like I'll buy I have a box set of Star Trek movies on Blu-ray.
Right.
They're very expensive, but the prices come down a little bit, but it's because they're trying to compete right now with the streaming services. So we're going back to the rental days in a way. This is what we just talked about here.
Yeah.
Because the Blu-rays are very costly to produce.
Yeah, that's why I don't buy them. Fuck that.
So I wrote an article. Andrew to Blu-rays. Fuck that.
Andrew to Blu-ray. Drop dead. Andrew to Blu-ray.
I wrote an article for VHS Rewind that I titled Too Much Too Soon, which is basically the point of the whole lengthy piece was that the technology is so good and so fast that we don't know what to do with it. So like the good old days of VHS, virtually everything has been released on VHS up to a point. The last movies produced and distributed via tape was 2006. So after that, we're swimming in DVDs. Not as many made as VHS. But by the time we catch our collective breath, we've got Blu-ray technology. So then there was a bit of a war. Remember there was a war between VHS and Betamax. HD DVD.
Yeah.
And then it was like whoever. Yeah, I guess.
Which supposedly, like, Betamax was the better format. I never gave a damn about any of it, so, like, I didn't have a dog in that fight, but, I know, like, some people said it was better, but,
Well, Betamax had slightly more lines of resolution, but the tape was smaller, so you couldn't record as much.
Right.
So
That
VHS.
HD DVD was like the same thing. I don't really know. I think that it was a little bit less. I think that the maybe the copy protection was a little bit less like draconian
Hmm.
on that. But I mean, I can't see how it could be with HDCP and all that. I don't know. The It must have been just the same thing. I don't know. It's like you get your fanboys. It's like some Toshiba fanboy loves HD DVD
Hmm.
over Blu-ray. They're like Sony, Toshiba, Sony, Toshiba. You know,
Hmm.
like
Right.
I don't know.
So have you seen these Blu-ray rewritable drives that you can use with your
Yes,
computer? You've
I
seen that?
have.
I
Hard
like
drives are
that.
so
It's
cheap.
like it's a minimum of 25 gigs on a disc is awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, hard drives are so cheap, and like you can just keep rewriting them over and over again. You don't have to worry about, I mean, although I mean, look, admittedly, I've never written anything to a DVD. I to
Hmm.
a to a Blu-ray. I hear that it's hard to scratch them and stuff like that, but I prefer. I'll just get you can get like a cheap portable hard drive and do whatever you want with it. I mean, I would do that before I would get a Blu-ray
Well,
writer and put my data on a Blu-ray.
what I was doing was I have this enormous case now of DVDs that I've burned just to clear up my hard drives because my hard drives get really full. I've got like a terabyte hard drive I think, and I've got another my smaller passport one that I use, and they get full.
Well,
So
you need to buy more. That's the secret.
I move them onto DVD and then put them in an album and then I play them on the player and they play beautifully and everything. But
Do you actually do it though? Because like I mean, I find if I don't keep them on the hard, I go through my drives. I have 10 terabytes of
hmm
RAID protected storage on my file server in the house. Every once in a while, I go through and like yeah, I'm never gonna watch this Steven Seagal movie from 2 years ago. That, like just a piece of shit.
well,
Like,
sometimes I'll keep things just for spite. Even if I hate the movie, I'll be like, you know, it was a pain in the ass to find this, so I'm keeping it.
Oh, I do that all the time. And like I keep things for nostalgic purposes, like, things that were in my VHS collection, that stuff is off limits. I'm never going to get rid of that. But like, something it's like some art house movie that I watched the trailer on and never really wanted to watch and didn't get around to for 3 years. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just going to erase that because I'm probably never going to watch that. No.
Yeah.
If it's a
So
chick flick, I'll leave it around for Heather to watch or something. But I'm not gonna, generally, if I don't think it's gonna appeal to her, it's on. You know,
Heather watches chick flicks.
she does.
Oh boy, and she's
She
into
does.
them and all. I mean, not for the campiness or laughing at them or something.
Oh, she gets in it pretty much anything that's good. But
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
does
she
she
like
cry when she
that's what
watches
she chooses.
Beaches or something?
Yeah, she probably would. Yeah, cry. Yeah.
Oh wow, she sounds like a hell of a woman. So it seems physical media is dead. You've made that assertion already, but now we can find anything we want online,
Hmm.
and the prohibitive cost to manufacture Blu-ray packaging, cost of printing, and mass duplication, it's over. So we're
Yeah.
looking at this massive, like I said, entertainment system, offline servers that can access anything like a jukebox. So have you seen anything about the Ultra HD, these enormous screens that might even like kill the idea of actually going out to the movies? What do you think of that?
I think that maybe eventually, but I think it's going to take a really long time. I think that our internet connections have to catch up.
Hmm.
There's like you buy the people they're trying to sell you these 4K TVs, and there's no 4K content. I
Yeah.
mean, really, like Netflix, like they tell you it's 1080p, but the compression is such crap. I mean, it's so compressed that like you're not getting a good picture. Like the quality of the picture is lousy compared to what you get with a 1080p hard copy of a file.
Hmm.
Uh, the and trying to do 4K. I mean, you're talking about a file that is so huge. I mean, how many? I have 10 terabytes of storage. How many 4K copies of movies can I store on my
Yeah.
on my system? How many episodes of television shows can I store? And they don't broadcast in 4K. Nobody has 4K. So like you're buying this really for no reason. And then you're also buying it like you can't even notice the difference between that and 1080p at a size of like 50-inch screen. You don't even notice anything. So
Yeah.
like now they want to do your freaking little phones in 4K. Like that matters. They're just trying to
That's
sell you
weird.
stuff.
I
That's
can't
the
even
way I
imagine
see it.
that.
I mean, eventually, the picture quality will get there because picture quality is always going to get better and better and better. But it's going to take a lot of time for that to catch on because it's just impractical right now. And it'll be one of those things you'll wake up and one day it'll be there. But like for the meantime, I have no interest. I wouldn't spend the money on it. Like if I were to go out and buy a new TV today, I would not buy a 4K TV.
This has been BlissVille. I want to thank Andrew tonight. Always in French.
Thank you. La So thank you for pronouncing my name correctly, sort of.
All right. In the old words of the old Jewish director, cut!
Cut! That's it! No more! I said stop talking!